All right, Senator Markwayne Mullin from the state of Oklahoma joins us tonight from the Capitol. Sir, good to have you on. The details of what we've learned about the scale of Somali fraud in the state of Minnesota have just been unbelievable. And now we learned that the Attorney General of the state, Keith Ellison, big-time partisan guy on the left, offering to, I guess, apply pressure on Somali refugees that are stealing, or on the people investigating Somali refugees, stealing millions from COVID programs to feed little kids. The soundbite of that has now resurfaced. It's unbelievable. You have Ilhan Omar partying at a restaurant owned by one of these Somali fraudsters, and you start to wonder, you start to kind of see how this all works.
Yeah, it's a systematic failure by Tim Walz, by the entire Democrat Party. I mean, the restaurant where Omar literally kicked her campaign off in 2018, I mean, the numbers are fluctuating anywhere from 100 million to 250 million, and we really don't know where it's at, but the restaurant owner received a tremendous amount of money back from what some whistleblowers have said that the fraud could go up to $8 billion. It's been reported at $1 billion, but it doesn't seem to go away. I mean, Tim Walz evidently was alerted that this was an issue, or this could be an issue. He decided to turn a blind eye to it. And then you have the constituent base of Omar, who's Somalian herself, seems to be the ones that benefited from it. And if you follow the money, it even gets worse, because when you follow the money, it goes, a lot of this money was funneled all the way back to Somalia that went to Al-Shabaab, the terrorist organization. Yeah. It is extremely concerning that literally our taxpayers were frauded of billions of dollars possibly to fund a terrorist organization that we are fighting against.
And the craziest thing is that it sounds like these people knew. It sounds like top Democrats in the state knew this was happening, and they just don't care because, again, it's a huge pile of American money. That's how Ilhan Omar sees this country. It's just a big pile of money that she can use to the benefit of her own people. I don't think she finds herself to be an American. I think she's still a Somalian at heart, and I think she knew that her brethren were stealing from us, and I don't think anybody really cared, and I think nobody wanted to touch it, especially a white guy like Tim Walz or Jacob Fry. They don't want to touch it because how does that look for them politically? And why would they go after people that are donating to their campaign? So this is how the mob works. Like, you can do whatever you want, but you're going to give us our cut.
I mean, obviously, Tim Walz, Governor Walz, didn't want to touch it because he was in the middle of a presidential election.
Sure.
And Omar speaks for herself. She doesn't love this country that gave her this opportunity.
No.
For some reason, you'd think she would embrace this country that has given so many of her other Somalians an opportunity to get away from the crime-ridden terrorist country that they have, that their number one income comes from criminal activity, even piracy. And so now you come to the United States, and Omar had an opportunity to be an example of what America could bring, actually being elected to the United States Congress. And instead, she goes out and has this ridiculous rhetoric against the United States that she sounds anti-American, which I will agree with you, Rob. I believe she is. I don't believe she embraces this country. I don't think she loves this country. She wants to change this country to what? The lawless, and I'm going to use a pretty big word here, but there's a reason why everybody left. The lawless hellhole that you left from, and now you're wanting to bring it to the United States? Oh, wait, no, you want to defraud the United States of hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars, and send it back to that country, to the criminal organization that ran you out to begin with.
It's surreal. It's surreal what we've let into this country, and it's so much of we have been gamed by our own refugee program. I mean, that's a bigger part of it. I mean, the fact that we are going into places, like third world African nations and just adopting people by the thousands. And then you have the government incentivizing these NGOs to go and find as many as they can and bring them here, and then you give them thousands of dollars. They're gaming the American people with our own policies. And it's surreal to watch. And then you see these politicians that know it's happening, don't care, look the other way. You have Trump releasing a national security strategy, the subsection, the era of mass migration is over. That's just a look at the document there. But I mean, it's not just illegal immigration, is it? A lot of this is legal, and it's so toxic in this country.
Well, let's reset this. they were gaining this system. Underneath Biden, it was an open door policy. Underneath Trump, it's about America first policy, right? We're a nation of laws, and what separates us from Somalia and what separates us from other third world countries is that we're not a lawless nation, but we were underneath Joe Biden. And now when President Trump is trying to restore law and order, he's sealing our borders, he's bringing common sense to the refugee or immigration program, and then he's saying, hold on a second, we're not going to accept these individuals that are coming from these countries that are terrorizing our hometowns, that are taking advantage of the gracious taxpayers of the United States. Hold on, we're going to stop that, and we're going to reset. So thank God we have President Trump here, but it's interesting. The more President Trump tries to restore law and order, you got Omar, you got Waltz, and you got these other blue cities, governors and mayors that are fighting against him. And you go, why? Are we either for America or against America? Because this goes way beyond just defunding police.
Yeah.
When you don't want to restore law and order in our streets, that makes you anti-American, because that's what America is about, giving everybody equal opportunities and treating criminals like criminals.
Well said. Senator Mark Wayne Mullin, good to have you on. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Rob.